Hey there everyone, and welcome back to our playtest mini-campaign of SuperIdols RPG, A New Stage. Joining me once again today are our players, Liv.
Hello.
Keith.
Hello.
Ayumi.
Hello.
And Kat.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing?
We rockin' and we rollin'.
Excited.
Yes.
I'm bad at geography.
I'm the most powerful at geography.
This is true.
I am very good, and I don't think I'd be... And then, I mean, this is scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'd be better than your average American at international geography.
True. Liv has earned her master geography.
Yeah, but that's like me saying I have a high spice tolerance for a white person.
Dang.
Yeah, it is. It's 100% the same energy.
And you'll have a great opportunity to prove that today, because we are going to do a little bit of
Habanero eating?
fictional geography today. Fictional Canadian geography.
Okay.
Semi-fictional Canadian geography. It's complicated. I'll explain it when we get there. To quickly recap, last time on the Super Idols playtest show, you participated in the second day of exam week, where you did your drama exam. You had a musical theater extravaganza where you were able to uplift not only yourselves, but also your rivals somehow. You absolutely trounced them, but you also extended an olive branch to them to show that it was all in good fun, and you're not out to completely sabotage your classmates' grades or anything like that. This is all a very good look for you. But of course, you do have another exam coming your way tomorrow. And before we get to that, we need to do another end of session to wrap up from last time. So this, again, will represent your characters kind of reflecting a bit in their alone time. So let's just see how everybody's feeling before everybody goes to bed for the night. Starting with the playbook questions. Who has playbook questions for me?
I guess I can start with mine.
All right.
So the Prodigy's end of session question is, did I meet expectations? So this is referring to the expectations of whoever is pushing you. So in my case, that is Cherilyn's father. And I think probably yes, because we really...
I would have to agree.
Yeah. So in that case, I would mark experience.
Correct.
Yay.
Yes, you did extremely well yesterday, and I think your father would definitely recognize that. Were he present? Maybe he has seen some of the action via live stream or social media or something as well, so he has partaken.
True.
2 out of 5, pressure marked. It's fine.
I also have an end of the session question, which is, did I satisfy
right.
my audience today? And I think it's a yes.
Yeah, again, your performance went over super well. It was one of the most popular of the day, and as I said, you had a very good look going by reaching out to your opponents and being gracious towards them.
I have one too.
All right.
Would I have made my inspiration proud today?
I think absolutely, because not only did you give a good performance, you also made good with a bunch of the other Chloe Ray stands in the audience.
This is true, and also we all remember when Chloe Ray Johnson performed the absolute iconic role of Sleeping Beauty in Hammers and Rogerstein's Sleeping Beauty musical.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Classic. Who can forget?
She's just a beacon of positivity, and
Yeah.
I think that Wendy also delivered on that front.
Oh, thank you. But yes, everybody, Carly Rae Jepsen did play Cinderella in 2013 after Laura Osnes left the production. The role was also populated by, or taken by Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer did amazing, Carly did amazing, and Laura did amazing.
I didn't realize this character was a self-insert, but I get that.
Duh!
To be fair, I did encourage them to follow their heart's desire in terms of their musical inspirations.
Yeah, this I did talk to Aaron and I was like, what should I do? I know, like, in the past we talked about, like, a Selena reference, like Selena Quintanilla. And then I was like, the only thing that would be funny and therefore I must do would be Carly Rae Jepsen.
It's beautiful. I can't. It's so good.
Thank you.
But yes, and I don't think Mimi doesn't have one, right?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, I think we can move on to next step. Since last time I've slightly shuffled the order of the end of session stuff to make slightly more sense in my head. So the next step is add new verses. If you had a significant interaction this session with any character who doesn't already have a verse on your sheet, you may add a verse for that character and gain one sync with them. Does anybody have anyone they would like to add?
I would like to add Alley Cat. How is that spelled, by the way?
It's alley as in, like, a back alley, and cat as in a feline.
Okay. So, how the words are spelled.
Indeed.
Okay.
I was tempted to use a K, but then I realized that's the name of the beer around here.
Yeah, and...
Oh.
what I wouldn't do for a main squeeze right now. They make a grapefruit ale every summer. That's just to die for.
Yeah, her real name is Allie Rogers. Her first name is spelled the same way as still the word Allie.
Because I feel like it's about time I got some sync with Alley Cat as well.
Yeah, if anybody else wants sync with Alley Cat, they're welcome to take it.
Yeah, I was wondering if I should or not.
I have some already, so...
Oh, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you don't think you've thought enough about her or, like, care, like, enough to think really hard about her yet, then you don't have to yet.
And I will abstain.
Yeah, because, like, I think that, the whole thing with, like, helping out the strikers last time, that was not something that, like, Cosmeaux Natalie was, like, gung-ho about, So I don't know if it's, like, something that... I think there needs to be some other sort of thing that happens story-wise.
Yeah. Totally
I'm
fair.
content with this being Mimi nonsense. So yeah, I've got a verse there, which is Allie's retro vibe is super cute, and she's surprisingly a team player when she wants to be.
That's a great verse.
I think Mimi had fun doing like 50s rockabilly.
Yeah, that's a very cute mental image of that costume for her too.
It's very different from her usual vibe, and she had fun. So
for all of you, really imagining you in like poodle skirts and greaser haircuts
and some leather jackets, and all cute. All of us are cute.
But yeah, if that's the only addition, then the next step would be rewrite outdated verses. If any of your existing verse statements have become inaccurate or insufficient to describe your character's feelings, you may rewrite those statements to be more accurate. For each verse that you rewrite in this way, gain one sync with that character.
I'm rewriting my verse with Mimi.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna turn it into something like, Mimi's, like, open-heartedness is a bomb, BALM, in this, like, competitive, the competitive nature of our school, or something like that.
Aww. So your previous one was that Michelle was a good bean who must be protected. So this is more like moving away from, like, oh, you're just so cute, to, like, no, you're, like, actually good for my soul.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yay! I'm playing the sweetheart. That's my playbook. I'm doing it.
This is also a good time, by the way, to fill in any missing statements if you have, like, sync with anyone and they don't have a statement yet.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I thought I had written one for Pon Far Out, but it was not there when I went to open up the files. And I completely forgot what I wrote last time, which is not helpful.
I see he has a first name now.
Yes, I gave him a first name. So now he's a double reference to Comet, because that was kind of the ideas. I named him Kohei after the father figure in the 1978 version of Comet.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah. It also makes sense because that character is a music teacher and, like, played by a real life, like, incredible musician. So there's a lot of opera in that particular iteration of Comet.
Oh, I'm so curious about that, just because like that's definitely one of the more obscure things that I've heard of in my like magical girl research, but have not experienced.
It was an experience. Actually, I had a good time. Even if some episodes were a little cringe, it was a good time.
Yeah, well, it was the 70s.
Yeah. Also, canonically, the only movie that she saw in the whole time that the show went, because movies are very expensive back then. I mean, they're still kind of expensive now, but they were very expensive back then. The only movie that Comet saw when her entire time on Earth was Grease.
Aww.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say that the Kohei was extra proud of you then last session because I've decided his favorite movie is also Grease.
Perfect. Okay.
Like, maybe a little disappointed that you didn't pick that to start with, but, like, he's glad you ended with it, at least.
Yeah, he's probably like, what is Hercules? I don't know.
Some Disney bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, that's also just me projecting. That's definitely how my father feels about it, but my father doesn't like musicals at all, so...
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so my sentence is just, wants very much to match his level of fame and skill, which is a little, like, bland, but probably forget something more specific later on.
Cool.
As we develop that relationship more. And I don't think there's anything else that I need to change, verse-wise.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Oh, and Keith, did you add the extra sync for Mimi?
Ooh, I forgot. Thank you for that.
Yay!
Yeah, because that's the benefit you get for updating your verse statement.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, I think I changed my mind. I think I want to change mine for Windy. Yeah, because like without her powers, last session would have been pretty not meaningless, but like it just would not have been the same. So
it was a highlight, like it was an elevation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
so I
thank you.
Yeah. So I want to say that like they perhaps have a more, I guess, a deeper trust in her, like find her to be an essential kind of part of, or I guess. I don't want to say essential tool. That sounds bad. I'm trying to figure out a better way to phrase it.
Well, I mean, I will say this, like, the three of you obviously have powers that are, like, so easily meshable, you know what I mean? Like, from a marketing and a theming standpoint, like, the reason why the three of you are all together makes perfect sense. Wendy's kind of like the weather and the night sky, just get in there, kid. So maybe it's not necessarily that like I'm a tool, but you understand like practically how I apply to the group, because I think we've never had a problem meshing personality wise, but for our powers and abilities it's always been like, and there's Wendy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because all of the rest of you are more obviously space themed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think I will go with that. So I'm going to keep because we are still mutual Starry Night Sky fans, and that's important. But
it's so important.
Yeah, I do think that we can also add, like sees her as a vital part of the group, or something like that.
Of like the vision, because I think we're all part of the group, but like the group
like
and
maybe,
the vision are different.
Sure.
Yeah, like maybe mutual Starry Night Sky fans, and now sees how Windy fits the vision of the group.
Okay, I like that phrasing. I'll use that.
I just finally added a description for Alley Cat, but that's it. Nothing new to add.
So that's just, I respect and admire their talent and drive. Perfect.
They are a very driven individual. Can't take that away from them.
This is true.
That sounds like everything good on verses then.
Yep.
So in that case, if everybody added or rewrote a verse, then nobody needs to fully self-reflect, at least not in the way that the step is written.
Yeah.
You've been reflecting on the other people in your life and realizing how important and cool people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious actually, like, again, this is sort of taking place like before your characters go to bed. I'm curious, like, what's in your characters' heads like as they get ready to go to bed tonight? knowing that the magic test is tomorrow?
I think that's pretty much it. I think.
Okay.
I think there's a sustained from Michelle, and I think she's got a little telescope in her dorm room, and she kind of ignores the problem to stare at the stars for a little while.
I think, as Mariah is one to do whenever she's feeling nervous or self-conscious about tests and abilities and all of that, she goes to watch like some of her favorite Carly Rae Jepsen performances. But the thing is, I don't know if we've actually said this live. Chloe Rae Jepsen has like sunlight powers, like sunlight and rainbow and everything that Wendy's powers aren't. The other side of Wendy's like weather coin, if you will, the other side of her barometer. And so hey, that's a weather joke. So even as she's like watching this and trying to get inspired, there's no comfort, I think, coming, because all she's seeing is all the ways her idol is different from her and unlike her, and she can't control her powers. She didn't get to decide what she can and cannot do, so I don't think it's as comforting as she would have wanted it to be.
Oh no. Although I think this is probably a good opportunity for me to remind myself, because I think I failed you. I've forgotten the last couple times that at the start of each session for your inspiration mechanic, you get to hold 2.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. There's so many cool stuff. Okay. I get to hold 2 whenever I make a move that consciously emulates your inspiration. You may spend 1 hold to add +1 to your roll. Okay.
Yeah. So you're that hold is available to use anytime during the session. So I figure now is a good time to add it, because you're consciously thinking about your inspiration and like, oh my god, do I measure up?
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, you have to measure up. Yeah. So Numston is about to fall asleep, but they're thinking about how the entire crew and them basically just teleported the strikers far, far away, so they wouldn't interfere with our performance. And Numston is kind of just laughing to themselves and before they fall asleep.
It's like, suckers.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I wish I could have seen their faces.
And you got to, like, you didn't rub it in their faces by helping them at the end, but it felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Cherilyn, at least we're talking about like before she goes to bed.
Don't worry, I got stuff for you after you go to bed.
Yeah. She's feeling pretty good. Like magic, this is definitely her bread and butter. This is like the stuff that she has trained in the most since her powers got awakened. Like, this is, she's very excited about it. And she feels the most confident that she has so far, especially after how the, last challenge went. So I think that just generally, yeah, she's feeling good. She's feeling like she's got a little bit of, like, there was certainly some unease at the beginning of everything for this day, but, by this point, she's feeling pretty good. Yeah.
Awesome.
And also just like renewing, more, I guess, having more confidence in like the team dynamic and like being able to trust everyone and, kind of getting that, I don't know, power of friendship sort of deal. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Cherilyn's getting drawn into the group more.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. And then I guess one last thing I want to do before everybody goes to bed is something that came to mind. I want to give to Mimi real quick before bed, or get to Michelle rather. I think maybe to soothe Michelle's long a little bit. She might hear her phone go off and it's just like a text notification. And you notice it's a text from Ruby Menendez, the planetarium manager, whom you are on good terms with.
Yay, Ruby.
She's texted you to say that she saw your group's performance today, and was very proud to see you out on the steps, and also performing well with your classmates, and seeing Mimi get like so many more new fans is very heartening to see.
I think the response is, one of these days we'll have to perform at the planetarium heart.
You know we have some stage space ready for you when you're ready.
Thanks. And I think even though Michelle is significantly less outgoing than Mimi, she also does put like a lot of heart emojis.
Aww.
She's just because I can't imagine texting without them.
And she sends you one last text like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. I know that you'll be ready someday, probably very soon, because you're on your way to being a star. In fact, you already are one in my eyes.
Aww.
I think you're gonna do a lot to bring a lot of people together. And I'm actually gonna, for the first time, use one of our reactive moves. I'm trying to have her define your image.
Oh.
So for define your image, when someone tells you how they see you or your idol persona, you must either accept the image they've given you or reject it. If you accept their image, the MC will shift your attributes accordingly. If you reject their image, roll minus sync with them.
I'm gonna accept this. I trust Ruby.
And I think because Ruby believes in the power of you to make people happy and bring them together, she's trying to raise your harmony and lower your diva.
My diva can't go any lower.
Oh, am I looking at the wrong sheet? I am looking at the wrong sheet. Never mind.
Yeah. My harmony can go up, but I cannot undiva.
Sure. Why don't we do harmony up and technique down then?
Okay, yeah.
She's less interested in your technical ability and more in your ability to make people feel good.
Hope you're all excited for a new, improved, even more airheaded Mimi. Because I shift technique down when I transform, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, and with that, I think your characters finally settle into bed for the night. You are going to have to go to bed a little bit early tonight, actually, because you've received word that you will have to be up bright and early for early instructions tomorrow morning. And once you are asleep, one of you has a slightly stressful dream.
Slightly, okay.
Well, we'll see how slight it is. We'll see. So, Cherilyn, much like last night, you find yourself back at the scene of today's exam, on the steps. You are in your Cosmeaux Natalie form, in your Zero to Hero attire. The only difference is that it's nighttime right now, and your group mates aren't here with you. No one is here, in fact. You stand alone in the middle of the stairs. The dark night sky is illuminated only by tiny stars and a misty crescent moon above. And this would be quite gorgeous to behold if something didn't feel so eerie. You stand alone in this echoing silence for a few long moments before something illuminates the sky overhead. A little at first, then more and more. And you see it's a shooting star streaking across the sky. Beautiful, of course, but far larger than a normal shooting star should be, and shining an unnervingly bright white. You realize quickly that that's because this shooting star is actually a glowing meteor making its way down towards the town square where you're standing.
Okay.
No, wait, though. Not where you're standing. No, there are other people here. They weren't there before, but now you see them. At the foot of the stairs, you see two groups. One is the rest of Satellite. all seemingly frozen in place as they gaze up at the incoming meteor in awe, or perhaps horror. The other is strikers, similarly frozen to the spot. But then, in one blink, you're not in the town square anymore. You're floating over the waters of a mountain lake. A large, densely wooded island is visible far across the water. The light of the meteor illuminates the lake below, so bright that it seems to shine a spotlight on Satellite and Strikers. Both groups are now seated in 2 small boats below you. All of them remain frozen, as if time has stopped for them and only them. You float outside the edges of this spotlight, but are close enough that you could maybe make it to one of the boats before the meteor hits. If you can just reach them, maybe, you could shake them out of their daze, take control of the boat, get them out of the way, something. But, of course, you could very well just be putting yourself in danger if you can't do anything. And doing it for both boats before the meteor hits might be impossible.
It's like, okay, this is not slightly stressful. This is extremely stressful.
Just a bit. Anyway, as soon as you realize the situation, the entire scene freezes. The meteor hangs in the air high above, glowing as if made of white-hot energy more so than rock. The only thing moving now is your father, Kohei, who's appeared in between you and your classmates, his arms crossed as he floats before you. And he says to you, "You're doing well so far, Cherilyn. Your performance today was good, and it was a noble gesture to help out even your competition. But I'm curious, how far will that grace extend? If put to the test, how far would you go to help both your friends and your foes? There are times when this business will demand that you put your own interests over those of your rivals, no matter how much you might respect one another. Are you prepared for that?" And with that, your father's gone again, and the dream begins to fade, still frozen on this image of the meteor, seconds away from hitting the water and sinking both boats.
Okay, this is a very interesting dream, but I'm trying to figure out what on earth kind of question I can ask about it.
Sorry, if you need a second, I'll for sure take one.
So I guess so I'm like looking over. Am I in the water? Am I on land? Like I'm trying to.
You're floating above the lake.
Okay.
Like the boats are out in the middle of the lake, between the shore and the island of out in the water ahead.
Okay. Okay, so they're kind of in the middle. Yeah, the meteor thing is that's a lot. It's like a full end of the world stuff.
Yeah, and again, it's more of like it almost looks more like a ball of energy than a rock again.
Okay.
Speaking of comets.
Yeah. Does so in this dream, does Cherilyn feel like she can, well, I guess Natalie, does Natalie feel like she can use your powers?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess, can I try to take an action here? I don't know. We've never.
I think no, because the scene is still just frozen as the dream is ending. But I think if you wanted to ask more questions about like what you could do in this situation, that's probably a good bigger question to ask.
Because like right now, I don't think Cherilyn would hesitate to put like her team in front of the Strikers. But I'm wondering if she feels that's the right choice right now in the context of the dream. Does that make sense as a question?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Is that your question? Is saving my team the right choice?
Yeah.
I think it's very hard for there to be a right choice in this situation. Like your dad said, like, sometimes you're in a tight situation and you have to decide where your priorities lie.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Although I will say, it's not impossible to find a third way through in this situation.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I think that's good. That is satisfyingly stressful.
I aim to please. But yes, with that dream done, you find yourself waking up in the morning, and again, you're up a few hours earlier than normal. You've been instructed to go to the gym about 2 hours before the usual time to receive your instructions for today's exam. So as at the start of any new session, the first thing you get to do is all players may gain 1 sync with any character that has a verse on their character sheet.
I'm gonna go with Cherilyn.
Yeah!
I'll go with Mariah.
I'm also adding 1 to Mariah.
Oh my god.
I already added 1 for Mariah just before the end of session, so I'm going to add 1 to Namsun instead.
Oh, thank you.
Yay!
Yeah,
Sync
because
all around.
without them, we would not have been able to completely sabotage the strikers the first time. That was
Speaking of people who fit the vision of the team, good lord. Okay, and again, the only other part of start of session is just making sure that your transformation shifts are set right to where you want them to be for start of session. So if you ended last session transformed, like, are you still transformed? Are you starting untransformed?
Cherilyn is untransformed for the beginning of this.
Same.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, then. In that case, so, again, you are up bright and early, and you're on your way to the gym to receive your instructions, maybe rubbing some of the sleep still lingering out of your eyes. But you're also reminded that you had some intel from yesterday that told you that there might be some travel involved in this challenge, because it has been involved in previous years' magic exams. And sure enough, once you reach the gym and receive all your instructions, you find out that this is in fact a travel challenge. Your task today is to travel to Long Island. No, not that Long Island. That would be a little bit too far. This Long Island is a little closer to home.
Fair.
No, this Long Island is in the middle of Harrison Lake, which is about an hour and a half drive outside of Cadence in the Coast Mountains of British Columbia. I will say for the sake of all you playing, and the delight of the beautiful patrons who are listening to this right now, if you're trying to figure out where all this is on a map, I've canonized in my head that the location of Cadence, British Columbia is roughly where Abbotsford, BC is in real life. So Abbotsford just doesn't exist in this version of the universe.
Damn, they got they got left on the cutting room floor. That's really sad.
I needed a place where a city could go that wasn't in the middle of a bunch of mountains.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But yes, so they're the, so again, yes, the Long Island is in Harrison Lake, which is an hour and a half outside Cadence, and there on the island, the school has set up a large elevated stage on the shore of Long Island Bay. For this challenge, you will have 30 minutes beforehand to plot a course from your school to the island.
Oh.
And you will have an hour and a half to get to the stage using your powers.
Ooh.
Now, there are a few extra rules to be aware of for this challenge, which I will also post in the chat for reference so you can read along if you need to.
Oh,
I didn't
goodness.
post the numbers of the rules, but whatever. They're all separate at least. Rule number 1. Any idols with powers such as teleportation, portals, or other forms of instantaneous travel cannot use those powers to traverse more than half the total distance. Rule number 2. This is not a race. There are no special prizes or extra points awarded for getting to the stage first. All that matters is that you make good time, given the powers that your group has to work with. Rule number 3. The most valuable extra points in this exam will be given to creative uses of powers that help you go the distance. Your group will be given a GoPro to document your power usage, so that your teachers know what you did. Rule number 4. You are allowed to use non-magical transportation, but only if there is a section of the journey that is impossible to traverse with your group's power set. Rule number 5. Major points will be taken off if you take longer than an hour and a half to reach the island, since that's about the amount of time it would take a person without powers to drive and take a boat there. And last and most importantly, rule number 6. This may not be a race, but that doesn't mean that you won't have competition along the way. The school has stationed several of Starview Academy's magic teachers at various waypoints, and they will attempt to block your way forward. You won't know exactly where these waypoints are, but you know that they will be scattered across a few of the most direct routes to the island. It's possible you might be able to find a route that bypasses the teachers entirely, but you might risk increasing your travel time that way. And once you get to the island, you will have one final challenge. Get up on that stage and put on a magical display so spectacular that it can be seen on the opposite shore across the lake. The bigger and clearer the display, the better you'll do.
So, we have to go outside?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mimi?
the good news is Mimi can fly. I don't know if I can help everyone else fly, but we can try. Maybe.
Well, I can fly too.
Good.
And Namsen, you have portals.
Portals are forbidden.
I do.
No.
Well, not completely forbidden.
You see Mariah, adjust her glasses like an anime protagonist, and just, the rules say any idols with powers such as teleportation portals and other forms cannot use those powers to travel more than half the total distance.
I'm wondering, though, if I should use my portals just to get over whatever obstacles the teachers put in our way.
Yeah, like save that as a last resort.
Yeah.
We know at this point that we need to traverse a body of water, right?
You need to get to a body of water, and then yes, you will have to traverse the water to get to the island in the middle of it.
We do actually have to cross the Fraser.
Oh yeah, you do have
River.
to cross a river on the way too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was thinking that any time that we have to traverse water, if we have like a sailboat or something, I could use my powers to just like breeze us across the water. So that's one place that Namsen wouldn't have to use their their portals for.
Yeah.
I mean, can we create that boat with magic? Seems like they don't want us to use regular, non-magical transportation.
I would say if it's created with magic, it counts as magical transportation.
Yeah.
That's fair. But also, like, if we have to rent a boat, that is what it is. I don't think any of us have like hard light or summoning or anything like that.
Okay.
Maybe can make shields. Maybe just make a really big shield and ride. I don't know. This is all extremely daunting.
Well,
it's okay.
We're going to the forest where the bugs live and the bears live there.
Oh, bears and bugs aren't gonna get in our way.
And
you can just think of them as small aliens and big aliens.
There you go.
There you go.
And besides, I'm sure we'll be keeping close to the roads. I don't think the bears get that close to humanity.
Yeah. I do have telekinesis, though I don't know to the extent. I've never tried to move an incredibly huge object before, but maybe for smaller things we can figure out some ways to utilize that for our travels.
Oh, wait. Do you think that you could use your telekinesis to make you and Namsun weightless.
Oh.
Oh.
Because if you're weightless, then Mimi and I can fly and carry you two.
That would be fun.
I've never tried it on a person before, and I've definitely never tried it on myself. So that would be an interesting experiment.
But if it does work, then in the future we can do performances where you're flying too.
Good
that is very
point.
true. Yes.
We can all fly together. Yay.
Yeah, and I think it'll give us extra points on this test. It sounds super creative. I don't think any of these other people are doing something like this.
Yeah.
True. We don't even have to worry about trying to sail across the lake. If we can just fly across the lake, that's way cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably still in the gym planning your route at this point, and you can see across the gym, you can see strikers all like excitedly planning together and like
Okay, so we've been going to school with these strikers for a cool minute now.
Oh yeah. It's been a whole school year at this point.
What are their abilities?
So, I'm glad you asked. So, Alley Cat has telekinesis, but her main power is sound manipulation and sonic blasts.
Okay, so she's a cool girl.
Spinner Sparrow can also fly, and her other power is kinetic energy magic. And then the other two are Armstrong and Killer Shot. Armstrong is not very surprising. He can do super strength and super jumps. He's a big beefy boy. He has big himbo energy.
God bless. There's always got to be one.
Yeah.
And Killer Shot is kind of a mysterious type. They have energy blasts and invisibility.
It feels like Sparrow and Allie are going to be our biggest concerns.
Well, I mean, speaking as just a player here, Armstrong having the super strength and super jump sounds incredibly convenient for both travel and carrying people.
Yeah, I think you can see him making the motion of like raising his arms like he's going to carry like 2 barrels, and then the others looking like, can we all fit under there?
I go to the gym and I get these gains so I can uplift my friends.
Oh, true himbo.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, go King.
I mean, it's not a race. It's okay if they do a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we get there on time, that's the vital thing. I can also try to use my Pygmalion, that, if you recall, the little alien friend I made 2 days ago.
He was cute.
I can make another thing that also moves independently of itself, and I think I can get it to float around. So even if I can't move myself with that, I can at least, be on top of something that I can move.
Nice.
I just have to figure out what would be best.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining Cosmeaux Natalie on like one of the little surfer sail things from the Toon Maker's Sailor Moon thing.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay,
The
honestly,
like space sailors.
that would be great.
Oh, wait,
Um,
because what if, a boat is just like kind of a very big shield, right?
Kind of.
And if it's levitated, it's a skyboat.
Skyboat.
That's very good. I like this idea.
And if we can put a sail on it somehow.
If we can put a sail on it, and you and I can maybe use our flight and Cosmeaux Natalie's. Okay, but also like if it's big enough, we can do a performance
from the skyboat.
From the skyboat, and you could stream it, and Namsun, you could go live, and people can like be a part of our journey to this like concert destination.
Oh my
well, not a
God.
concert, but you know what I mean.
This is an amazing idea.
Oh yeah, there's absolutely nothing in the rules saying you can't live stream this.
It does sound like a. Okay, I'm gonna.
Well,
You may have trouble as you get further north and signal gets more spotty, but up to then, at least.
gonna go be Mimi now because I am way too nervous for this right now, and also I don't have magic powers unless I'm also blue. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay.
Yeah, let's change.
I mean,
Okay.
And Michelle kind of like pulls, like semi-frantically pulls out the little device that she uses to summon the UFO.
incredible.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm changing as well.
Yeah, I think it would
Alright.
make the most sense. At least we have to
Mhm.
test out our powers.
We have to start crafting this boat.
Yeah.
Okay, boat time.
Boat time.
Boat time. Okay. All right. Okay. Boat.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you see, Wendy,
yes.
Wendy takes out her phone and starts like looking up weather patterns and what the airflow and
Yeah,
everything.
I was
just
going to
looking at-
ask, can Windy make it windy?
Mm.
Oh yeah, but I think like most things, it's easier when there's no resistance. Like she can make it rain anytime, but it's gonna be easier to rain on like a foggy, cold day than it is going to be like 100 degrees.
Fair.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, for you Americans who are not familiar with Canadian geography, you're not going to have trouble getting rain in BC.
Yeah, we're not gonna have trouble getting rain in BC. But alternatively, like if it's rainy, if it's stormy, it makes sense to me that it would be a little bit more complicated to make the winds do what I want to do.
Mm.
Sure.
Like it'd be harder to control the currents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm
Yeah,
shooting
no.
myself in the foot, but like I don't know. There's a power balance there,
It makes
you
sense,
know?
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mhm.
I will say I'm not going to be too fussed about weather stuff because that's literally Windy's power.
Mhm.
So like unless like there's some like extremely bad weather along the way at some point for some reason, then like I would trust Windy to be able to do that.
Yeah, perfect. Cool.
Okay. So in order to be able to, because I still, well, okay, I from the volume, I never used it last session. So I used it in the first session. So it still says I have one volume, and I'm not
Oh, yeah, so-
sure.
Yeah, you'll have to lose that because
Mhm.
the rules at the end of that say you lose all volume at the end of the current scene. So
Right. Okay. So in that
it's
case,
a use it or lose it thing.
Gotcha. I think that, actually, let me just get my stats up correctly again, and transform. And then I want to try to roll for volume.
Is that going to be something I could assist with?
Probably.
Okay, then I would like to. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry if I actually phrased this wrong. But seeing as how like Wendy would be the one kind of powering this boat, at least like not even not powering, but like steering it with her magic and her weather control abilities, I think it makes sense for her to kind of be like second in command, helping Cosmeaux Natalie like figure out how we want to do this, how we want to build this, what is this structure going to look like, and that's what that's essentially what my help looks like.
Yeah, I get, does that make sense, Erin? As an assistant
Yes.
for rolling volume? Okay. So I guess, would Liv roll first to assist?
Remind me what the first step of the thing you're trying to do is?
Like I was going to utilize this one of the things that I have with Cosmeaux Natalie to.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like Ayumi, you would have the first thing to do.
Okay. So it says to roll plus conditions marked, but I do not have any conditions marked at the moment.
Cool. Yeah, so that would just be a flat roll.
Okay. 2d6. Okay. Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Hell yeah.
Aha. You're winning. Okay, so I got a 10, which means I can hold a 3. That's going to be
Yay.
great because another thing that I can use with the volume is go, which is to spend one volume to break through or slip past any barriers or restraints. And I feel like that could be useful down the line.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for right now, I think you're good, because right now all you're trying to do is get out of the city first.
Yes. Yeah. But at least, if we need to create anything, I can use my Pygmalion. I have to specify that the Pygmalion it doesn't have to be a person, but it has to be up to the size of a person. So, I don't know what we want to do. We have to kind of figure out piece by piece.
You could use it to put a sail on the shield.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
It could be a small sail. It can also be a magic sail.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Like you have cosmic energy powers.
Yes, I do. I've been wondering about that as well. Like how much of cosmic energy applies to Earth's atmosphere? I don't know if that makes sense as a question.
I always imagine it as being basically Green Lantern energy.
See, I've never actually watched any Green Lantern or read any Green Lantern.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Basically just glowy magic energy that can do lots of things.
Very neon.
Whatever you want it to do.
Yeah, it just makes kind of whatever shape.
It's intentionally very vague because the Prodigy is the Prodigy and the Spectacular are both supposed to have stronger powers than other character types, and so I wanted to give them a very broad base for interpretation of what they can do.
Okay, I am looking up Green Lantern GIFs to get some ideas of what on earth we're talking about.
I can't wait for you to see.
And I found this to be the most, I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure I understand. Maybe I can think of it more like Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically energy constructs is what they can do.
Yeah, okay.
Raven is good.
Because Ryan Reynolds is not helping me out right now.
Ayumi was like, I don't know about this one, y'all.
Yeah, if you search Green Lantern constructs, you might get more.
You took one look at this white man and you're like, no.
Well, to be fair, there's some Jon Stewart in these image results.
I have nothing against Ryan Reynolds. I loved Detective Pikachu and I loved Deadpool, but I just never got around to watching this particular series, and I don't watch a lot of DC animation either.
Two things can be true. Detective Pikachu, incredible movie. And then also another thing that can be true, Green Lantern, not a good movie.
Garbage.
I do believe the time has come for me to try to make a shield big enough for my party to clamber upon.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a role of some sort, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm going to look at the rules with my little brainsy. And it seems like a flourish.
Yeah, I'm thinking a flourish is the most straightforward way to handle that.
Okay.
Here we
So
go.
you'll be rolling plus magic.
Go.
Oh, I just made it.
Just made it.
So that's a 7. So on a 7 to 9 for flourish, you perform an impressive or difficult magical feat, explain your intended effect, and on a 7 to 9, you also choose a downside from the flourish downsides list.
I think I'm going to mark a condition.
Yeah. For the audience's sake, the condition or the options you could choose are: you strain yourself, mark a condition, the effect is much shorter than intended, or the effect is unstable or causes an unforeseen setback. So in this case, you will mark a condition. It's entirely sensical in this case, I think, because again, you are making a thing that's big enough for your entire party. That's a big thing. That's a big ask.
I apologize for the entirety of the next recording, but I'm marking unfocused.
Oh, love you.
So, oops.
I guess we're all going on a trip.
You thought Mimi was twee before.
Oh yeah, did you do your transformation shift?
Oh yeah, I have to do that.
I noticed your technique wasn't low yet.
Wasn't low enough. There we
your
go.
Your charm wasn't high enough.
There we go.
We can go lower.
We can and we must.
Perfect.
My technique and diva are both really just absolutely in the toilet right now.
We will hit rock bottom.
You have -2 and -1 to those, and you also have the conditions marked that lower them even further.
I've had nervous marked since day one.
Aww.
Michelle is constantly nervous.
And because this is all the same week, I can't even justify time passing to make those go away.
No, here's the thing. Michelle is constantly nervous. This is an established Michelle character trait. She hides it behind being Mimi, but she's still nervous in her heart.
I did it!
Yay!
It's basically a boat, right?
You did it. Yeah, definitely. We just need to, make it a little bit more boat-like. So I think that I'm just going to spend 1 volume to make that sail.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set the GoPro up for the stream.
It sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I will get the word out then. I think I'm going to tell them that what route we're taking as we start to move out of the parking lot.
Nice. Yeah, so you're just having them basically line the streets for you to cheer you out of the city.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I think I'm gonna I'm gonna put like a map to tell them where to go for the final performance.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this is gonna be great for this campground, I'm sure.
Well, people can also watch from home.
We will definitely have people watching from home. Listen, the whole vibe of Satellite is that we are all about the night sky and weather, and we are all about social media.
Yeah, we're very...
Of course.
Mm-hmm. We're very savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for flavor, I'm kind of curious, like, what are Namsun's posts to get the word out like?
I think they are, I think it's, photos of the boat that we've made with, all 4 of us kind of doing like a hands up, maybe like peace sign, kind of like, look what we did, look what we made. And then like another, like a little clip of us rising up and like moving through the school's campus, floating through the air. And then the last post is a, kind of like a Google directions with our, planned out, route displayed on the map.
Yeah.
The route is also like lined as if it was like the Milky Way.
Ooh.
Like it's not just like a line, it's not like a ... It's, a little trail of stars.
And I think on one end it's Saturn, and on the other end it's the sparkles.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're so good at this.
I think as you're taking the video, eagle-eyed viewers will be able to spot in the background of your video, Armstrong holding Alley Cat under one arm and Killer Shot under his other arm as Spinner Sparrow flies alongside him while he's jumping along out of the city.
He jumped.
He jump, he hold.
He has 2 big arms for holding.
Aww.
God bless.
Yeah.
We love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can tell he's also getting like a lot more like airtime on even like his super jumps than normal because Alley Cat is helping with her telekinesis.
Oh.
I think since the construction of the boat, Mimi's pretty much just been floating because she can fly, so she's just kind of floating around.
Mimi, are you in the crow's nest of our boat?
Wow! Yeah! I can see forever from here!
Nice.
Wow, good job, Armstrong!
This is great because this is a very small crow's nest. It can't be larger than a person.
Mimi's very little.
It's like the crow's nest is Mimi standing on one tiptoe.
Yes.
Like,
On the mat.
I mean, famously, crow's nests are quite small for children, so.
Like fully Peter Pan, just balancing on the mast.
I love it.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
I do think that Wendy is floating around too, but she's like checking out everything like, okay, it looks good. And then I'm going to float over to Namsun, who is being a social media master. And I'm just gonna like orbit around Namsun and just, okay, I know that we have the boat and everything, but are you sure you're going to be able to make a portal big enough and that's not going to take too much out of you to just portal? I mean, we can only portal about half of the way there, but I don't know how you want to do that.
let's see. And then I do it. I create a portal that takes us halfway.
Keith, you're not the GM. You can't just say that you do it.
Sorry, I try to do it.
Well, you could. I would like to know, like, where the start point of your portal is and where you're intending it to end up.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, if you don't know where, like, if you're not familiar with the territory, how would you be able to make a portal there?
That's true. Yeah.
That would be probably the thing that justifies a roll for it.
I think that Namsun is, doesn't get out into the country that much. So this would be...
Shocker.
Because of the bears.
Mm-hmm. Exactly that. So, I think that they're basically just making a guess based on this map, and I think that the start point of this portal is at the edge of town, because they definitely want the satellite to have all the FaceTime.
Yeah, you want to follow your parade route, basically.
Yeah.
Wendy is going to pull up on her own phone, because it can't be Nuns has to be live streaming. Wendy's going to pull up on her own phone a map for Namsun to study.
And I'm like, okay, I think, yeah.
I guess Wendy's the road trip mom. Like,
yeah, Namsun's like,
yeah, you did have half an hour to plan this, so you would have time to gather some, like, supplies from your dorms if you need to.
True.
Anyway, so I think we were trying to decide. We decided where the front end of Namsun's portal would be at the edge of town. Where have you thought of where you might want the other end to go ideally?
So
I'd like to pitch way less than halfway, so we still have some portal left.
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, if you're looking at the map right now, I'd say probably with the way the turns are, like... Well, actually, here's the question. Are you planning on going along one of the, like, marked road routes, or are you going off the beaten path?
should we just follow the river?
I feel like we should just follow the route. I feel like if we try to go off course, it's going to be way, way worse for us.
Yeah, I would have questions about the river, like, are we familiar with this river? Does it go upstream or downstream? What does that even mean in this context? Like, if we, like, were to go along the river on land or, like, literally on the river, like, what would that mean? There would be so many...
Yeah, like, are you using your airboat the entire way?
Yeah.
Because that could get tiring for Mimi if you have to go the whole way that way.
Yeah, I would be worried about that also. And the other thing is, in terms of, like, how we can use non-magical routes if absolutely necessary, like, I was kind of wondering logistically how that works. Like, do we call for help? Do we phone a friend?
I think basically you just keep documenting your journey, and you would leave it up to the judgment of whatever teacher is watching your footage back after.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay.
So you make a judgment call, like, if you think, okay, there's no way we can do this with powers right now.
Okay.
So we have to, like, I don't know, well, I guess you can't call a cab out there, but, like, we need a boat or something like that.
Right.
We need to hitchhike.
I guess the reason I was asking is because Cherilyn does have an agent, and I don't know if that agent would be able to help somehow.
Oh, they probably could.
Yeah. Like, to drive us or I don't know, something like that, or, like, bring something that we might need that's non-magical.
Yeah, in an emergency.
Yeah, like, you could call your agent and ask them to drive the regular route so that they'd be relatively nearby if you need anything.
Sounds good to me.
And, like, have all kinds of other gear just in case we need anything. And then, yeah, I probably wouldn't try to rely on that. Actually, I have not decided the gender of my agent. I cannot remember if the agent came up before. But I would probably not try to rely on them. But, yeah, just in case.
Yeah, that's a good
Since we are allowed
emergency, I think.
Okay. So
Now let me just think of what conditions I need to ask you to fulfill in order to get your agent to do this.
yes, because this is the right stuff situation.
Mm-hmm. This is a Wednesday. Your agent probably has other stuff they were expecting to do today, other than driving out into the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
So I think probably the first thing you must do is probably figure out like how you're going to address like the work they're going to need to miss today to do this.
Okay. So assuming that like they're going to be driving about an hour and a half one way, that's like a 3-hour drive total at least, probably some stops in between. So that's like give or take like 4 hours of work. I don't really know if Cherilyn would be aware of the agent's like full schedule.
Yeah, because they have other clients they handle as well.
Right.
But, like, it's Cosmeaux Natalie.
What other clients could you have?
The child of Pon Far Out.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah. I do also think that I feel like I could argue the agent was probably at least a little aware that they might need to help out this week because of, you know, everything going on with school. So, yeah.
Okay. I would allow this to be a legitimate solution that you like planned for this already and told your agent to clear their schedule on certain times of day.
Yeah. So like, you know, getting the call that we have to come, or getting the information that we would have to come to school early would be a good indicator that we'd have to like do something, you know, in the morning. So I probably would have contacted them about
also,
that.
here's a good thing that the thing from yesterday would come in handy with. You have the information, the intel that today's exam might involve traveling, so you would have already known that this is a thing that they might have to do.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much, Erin, for reminding me. Yes. So would that be the only other, would that be the only thing that I have to take care of in that case?
I think the only other thing I would say is, this is not something that you, well, it sort of is something that you need to avoid running afoul of, but it's something you should also let your agent know that they should avoid running afoul of. Remember that along the most direct routes to the site, there will be those teachers who are trying to get in your way.
Yes.
I guess what I'm saying is for now it's fine. Like, you know that the agent can drive along the route and stay relatively nearby and keep pace with you. I think to tie this into making it a condition of the right stuff, like in terms of you must avoid running afoul of, like, there's a possibility if this becomes like a major issue along the route for them, they might be just like, this is more trouble than it's worth, and turn around and go. So with that said, I guess it goes back to Keith then. Have you thought more about like where you'd like your portal to go for the first leg of this journey?
So I'm imagining the edge of town is near Hatzik Lake. Is that correct?
Yeah, like it's a little bit further. Yeah, Hatzik Lake is a little further north of the edge of town. Yeah.
So then I think that I'm just gonna create the beginning of the portal there, and then create the ending where Route 7 kind of crosses the Harrison River, where the Lowweed Highway meets the British Columbia Highway 7.
Yeah, that's basically exactly the halfway point. So you're using your full distance here.
Do we want to be doing that though? I'm a little.
I was gonna say.
So maybe
we need to.
Okay, yeah, that was my first idea, but instead we could go to the little town of DeRoche.
Yeah, that's a little less than halfway, so you'd still have a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay, so we could do that.
I'm so fascinated by this map pointing out only two things in DeRoche: the general store and fireworks are fun.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what is this town?
And the general store.
I was thinking about that. What if
There's a community hall.
What if we told Natalie's agent to meet us at the general store or fireworks are fun?
Fireworks! I was gonna say we could get fireworks. We could tell the agent to pick up fireworks so we can have them for our show.
I think the agent might text like, Are you sure you want to risk putting a portal in the middle of a place called Fireworks Are Fun?
That is a very good point.
All right, general store it is.
Okay. Yeah, I like this.
All right. So I think that sounds like a plan. Your first order of business is to try and make a portal from the edge of Cadence to DesRoches, British Columbia. And that's a great far distance, so that's definitely gonna be a flourish. That's a difficult magical feat.
Sense. All right, I'm going to roll. Oh.
Oh, goodness. That's a 14.
Heck yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's like double sixes on the dice plus 2. God. Yeah.
Come on, hottie shit.
Beautiful. Oh my god. You do it like... It probably helps that you, like, actually looked at, like, the Google Street View before you left, so you know exactly what the place looks like, you know exactly, like, how far it is, you get it, you reach out to the whatever cosmos in the mind that you need to figure out where in time and space this place is.
Can I add, like, something,
And,
like a flourish on my flourish?
ooh, yeah, well, it depends
So
what it
since
is,
we're
yeah.
crossing a body of water near Hatzik Lake, what if the portal's, like, edges just pull from that water? And it becomes, like, a portal made of water, basically. And then, like, at the end, it's another portal made of water, because it looks like the Nikoman Slow is crosses through DesRoches.
Ooh, nice.
Very fun.
Yeah,
Very
for
like
sure. With a roll like that, I'll grant you pretty much anything you want aesthetically.
very like edge of the world, like in that Sinbad movie. We're just
Plus, especially if you're like literally sailing into the portal on a boat made of magic, that's badass.
Yeah. Oh, and like Wendy's definitely got like clouds and mist coming out of like the boat, so it's just very dramatic.
Like, for those who are familiar with Love Live Sunshine, we're currently looking at a picture of like the boat from their 4th live, and it's on like a similar like blue cloud of glowing water.
It's beautiful.
So if you know what that boat looks like, that's the vibe.
Yes.
Yay!
Love to see.
Yeah, and you catch probably some of the citizens of DesRoches, British Columbia off guard as this, again, a boat made of magic sails out of a portal full of mist right next to the general store.
We just wave as we go.
Yeah.
Like beauty pageant participants.
Oh, absolutely. It's 100% giving that. This
like,
is a parade.
The rotating hand wave.
Yes.
Oh.
Follow us on Idle Talk.
No, I have unfocused. So Mimi is just kind of like flying from one side of the boat to the other, waving at people.
Mm-hmm.
And like the second one person notices and waves back, she notices a different person who's watching and flies over that way. She's just zipping back and forth. It's extremely distracting.
Yeah, and I think behind you, like after you'd make this like majestic exit through the portal and you're waving at everybody, your agent's car like unceremoniously drives through the portal behind you.
Just there.
Okay, I'm here now.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thanks.
Cut some travel time off my journey today, so thank you for respecting my time and energy.
Of course.
And your gas.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I wasn't gonna mention the gas costs, because Natalie, I'm sure you're aware, but like, you know.
I know, yes, of course.
Yeah, so your little party has made it to DesRoches in one piece very quickly. Maybe literally one piece. That seems to be the vibe that you're going for.
Oh no!
A little bit.
So yeah, you've made it through the first leg of your journey very quickly and easily. Good for you.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
What is your next plan of action?
Let's see. So we're on a boat. Are we? I guess continuing to have. I guess would it be like, because we're not in the body of water, right? Or are we?
Yeah, no, you're in town. You're near the river, next to the town. It's a very small town.
Okay, so I suppose we can continue to use like or we could depend on like maybe Natalie's telekinesis to keep the boat going. Is what I'm thinking.
And Wendy's magical abilities, like her weather control, to push us forward and also probably help a little bit with the heavy lifting.
Probably.
Like, I feel like even with 4 magical idols, super idols on this magical construct, I feel like we're still light enough that, like, if we catch the right air current, like, I don't know, it won't be as much of a heavy lifting on your telekinetic powers.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to share this in the chat because I'm just looking at pictures of the Duroche General Store, and this is the first photo there.
Oh, God.
Embracing.
It's gorgeous.
That's cute.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Oh, my God.
thought you'd enjoy that. It's a picture for the listeners. This is a picture of the Duroche General Store, and there's a double rainbow above a just freshly rained street.
I love that.
This is great. So we probably, like, there's this giant parking lot here. This is probably exactly where we came out of.
Yeah.
Where we landed.
And I imagine you're just following the road, right?
Yeah, you have the highway still going through there.
Yeah, I think that while of course Cosmeaux Natalie and Wendy are keeping the boat moving, I think that the Oracle is trying to read any moves that are going on around us to kind of like forecast if there's like an attack coming our way or something, some sort of obstacle.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Okay, should Natalie or Wendy do any sort of roll to like keep the boat moving?
I think for now you're good, because, like, as far as your magic is concerned, you haven't traveled very far yet. Like, you haven't, like, the portal has made it so that you physically haven't, like, gone very far yet. So I think you still got a good ways till you start getting tired.
Okay, so we're just kind of chugging along.
Yeah, I may ask you to roll again later, depending on things that may happen.
Okay.
Okay, I think definitely, if you're doing a move prediction, I think because it's not like an immediate move, like right in front of you, like probably I would also need a roll for this because you're trying to reach out into the wider area around you.
Yeah. Then I will roll flourish.
Yeah. Or actually, here's a better. This is the same stat, but here's a better move to represent this. Why don't you make this a read magic?
Oh, okay.
Because I think this would be applicable to the thing that you might find here, possibly.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so the roll you just made is still applicable, and you got a... Oh,
yeah,
I see.
I did roll low, unfortunately.
Wait, what is...
I rolled a 5.
I can help.
Okay.
Yeah, if people have sync with Namsun, you definitely can help. Or if you have other means to help Namsun, you can help. Although you could also let this ride if you want the experience from it.
I am willing to accept help.
I can spend 2 sync. I'm allowed to.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I only have 1 sync with Namsun, so I think we're gonna keep it that way for now. Keep it just in case.
Yeah, although do you have the sync to spend on Namsun?
I do, yeah, I have to.
Oh, you had to?
Yep.
So why don't you please tell us the text of the move that lets you do this?
When you spend sync to help an ally, you may spend 2 sync to add +2 to their roll.
Ooh.
Yes, which you normally cannot do in this game. You can normally only want to spend 1 sync per person. So
it's Miracle Wave.
Yay.
Miracle Wave. So I think
getting all those good Love Live references in today.
Yeah, I think Mimi is fully just tinkerbelling around.
She's precious. She's so precious.
Yeah, like what is like Namsun, what is your like concentrating looking for information type look like to Mimi? That might signal that she needs to help
Mimi,
with this.
It would look like So there's a circle of magic that that kind of like cloaks or obscures the Oracle's eyes at all times. And I think that when they are looking into the future, trying to predict moves, that circle expands. So it kind of becomes like a wider halo around their head, but their eyes are still closed.
How Mimi help? I know. I think Mimi has seen this before, and notices that this is like longer than this normally takes. And so what she does is, because one of Mimi's powers is laser beams. And so she like does like a laser grid that sweeps around the area in a 360 to kind of help the Oracle like break down what's happening in the area.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
It's almost like you're doing like the lasers in the dry ice type thing for a heist.
Yeah. There's like a scanning from like an 80s movie.
Sure.
This grid of bright like, and all Mimi's magic is just bright blue. So it's
Very
like
cute.
grid of bright blue
I
lines.
love that.
Kind of sweeps around the area in a 360.
All right. Well, so that will bring you up to a 7 on Read Magic in that
Yay.
case. So, since we haven't used this move before, Read Magic is when you tap into the magic around you for answers beyond the physical, roll plus magic. On a 10 plus, the MC will give you a detailed and relevant piece of information that could not have been found by any other means. On a 7 to 9, which is the relevant one, the MC will offer only vague or incomplete information.
Fair.
So what can I tell you here? You're definitely going to get something. Like, you're reaching out. You don't get anything immediately within the town itself, at least not at first. But as you extend the reach of your powers further and further, and you see as Mimi's grid lights up the area and shows you, like, more concretely, like, what is where, I think you get a vague ping towards the edge of the little town. Like, let's see on the map, where would this be?
Near the Bible camp?
Oh God, I noticed that too.
Sure, near the Bible camp. On the road across from the Bible camp. You get a ping of something that seems like it might be aiming to like stop progress there. You can't tell what, but like something's there.
I will inform Cosmeaux, Natalie, and Wendy. Hey, I think there's someone, a teacher or something near the ahead near the edge of the town, who might try to stop us. I'm not really sure what they're going to do though, but just be on the lookout.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes. How would you like to approach this in this case?
I think that because Natalie still has 2 volume, I think she's gonna feel pretty, like, maybe a little confident that, you know, whatever happens can get taken care of. You know, we still haven't seen what the barriers even are yet, so there's also that factor.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Like-
making great time. You're already over a quarter of the way there, and it's barely been like 5 minutes.
Sure, that helps.
That's so true. I do think pulling like a little, for making all the anime references tonight, little Laputa Castle in the Sky moment. I think that Wendy is going to start conjuring and pulling as many clouds and stuff around the ship so that
Ooh.
we're masked, essentially. I'm going to try to hide us as best as possible.
We're just gonna turn into a cloud.
Yeah. And I can, I guess it's not unleash my powers here. But I can do a flourish? Yes?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So that's going to be 2d6, and that's magic, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All
yeah,
right.
there we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got a 10.
That's a 10.
Woo!
Yeah, so basically you do what you would like. Describe how this goes.
Yeah, so you see, Namsun alerts, the Oracle alerts Wendy and Cosmeaux Natalie, and Wendy's gonna, she's gonna run to the front of the boat, and my friend would be very proud of me in this moment. Full sort of Titanic moment is gonna throw her arms out and start pulling in all the existing moisture that's in the air and conjuring more to create these series of clouds around the boat and then also out. So it's not just like one very suspicious looking cloud, but rather
So you're trying to Silent Hill your way through this?
Yes, exactly. Not just one very suspicious looking cloud, but like a series of clouds that seem to be rolling through the sky together.
I wonder what they could be.
I know. I heard that Satellite was going to be coming by. Satellite, you mean the team with the girl who can control weather? Gee, that's a weird looking cloud.
Why is it moving against the wind randomly?
So weird. But I got a 10, so the cloud does not look suspicious at all.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
It does not. You're an artist with your clouds.
Little happy clouds, you know?
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, I think you're in luck because, like, again, like, if we're going off this photo that we're looking at, like, it looks like it's just after the rain, so it wouldn't be unusual for there to be, like, a little, like, moisture still in the air. It's, like, a little foggy, misty. Maybe it's hard to see through the mist a little bit.
Okay, so I shouldn't go say hi.
No.
Let's save it for later.
Okay. Roger.
And then Mimi turns to the GoPro.
You don't say hi either, okay?
We are streaming after all.
So true, so true.
I don't want to say this automatically works to get you past the teacher. Like, it's going to help a lot, for sure.
Would we be able to
that.
still see them from up there?
You don't know what you're looking for, so it's hard to say.
Okay.
I will say, as you move out of Darosh and you're moving forward closer to where the Oracle said that this, like, whatever means to block your path was supposed to be, you don't see any people yet. All you see is, like, there's maybe, like, there's the Bible camp, obviously, and there's, like, a car by the side of the road. That's about it.
Interesting.
Maybe if we're just quiet, we can sneak past.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Here's what I'm thinking that this might be. Hear me out. I'm thinking this might be an ensemble performance because you're basically all working together to try and sneak past this place.
Very fun.
We love to sneak.
And I would say probably you could do that with a +1 from this, like, magical mist that you've got going.
Okay.
Cool. Well, you know how we also get another +1? A little hard carry from your girl Wendy, because this is a new session.
Haha. And that's once per session. When you participate in an ensemble performance, you may add an additional +1 to the final roll result. Perfect. All right, so this is gonna go great. All right, so again, as far as, like, what you're using to accomplish this, I would say this is probably going to be a magic roll because you're using your magic mist to get past this person.
I wonder if it would make sense. Now, I know that Natalie is already using telekinesis on the boat itself, but if there's any way to extend some of that energy towards something that could possibly distract or help to alert whatever might be waiting there to see if anything, like, comes out or something, if that makes sense.
Sure. I think I would just roll this all into the same move.
Okay. So that's definitely what Natalie's trying to do in that case.
Yeah, because Wendy is using her magic to do the mist, and then you're also using your magic to do this distraction. What kind of distraction are you thinking?
Well, I mean, we're still near a lot of trees, right? I would assume there's still a lot of trees around the camp. So probably trying to kind of move the trees so it kind of looks like there might be some rustling, like someone's there.
Perfect, yes. So in that case, let us do the ensemble performance questions. First off, does any participant have +2 or higher in magic?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Do all participants have +1 or higher in magic?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got +2 so far. Next question is not applicable. Do all participants have at least one sync with one other participant?
Yes.
Yes.
That's another one. And are you ill-prepared or off-balance?
I don't think so.
I don't think
we're
so.
doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, you had, you had 30 minutes to plan all this. And you planned out your exit from the town before you left this little town, too. So I think you're good there. So you would roll this with 3 plus your +1, so rolling this with a +4. And who wants to make the roll for this?
Cosmeaux Natalie?
Okay. So plus 4? +3?
Yes, 2d6
Okay.
+4 this would be.
Okay. Just checking. All right. Let's see.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay,
Ooh.
just a 10.
Yeah.
The extra +1 made a difference.
Just a 10 with 6 dice. Or, well, not 6 dice, but 2d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
because on the
thank
dice
goodness.
it was a 1 and a 5.
Yeah, that would have been rough. But luckily we have a
Yeah.
+4, so we are doing
Mm-hmm.
just well. We're going swimmingly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, so for that, you succeed beyond all expectations and gain a critical opportunity. I think I know what that is in this case. I think your plan goes off splendidly. Windy, your mist is just thick enough that it hides you, but not so thick that it's suspicious. Natalie, you get your distraction going to misdirect anyone in the area who might be looking for someone coming through. And I think when you do that, actually, you see that car that was parked by the side of the road start to move by itself, and it starts to drive off in the direction of where the distraction is over the grass.
Oh ho ho, okay.
And then you remember that one of the... You haven't had this person's classes very much, because there's different magic teachers throughout the school for different years, but you know that one of the teachers at the school is... Vroom Vroom Valencia, who can transform into vehicles.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
No.
We have a transformer
We do?
teacher?
No,
Exactly.
not a turbo teacher.
Or like an Utana person,
Yeah.
if you
yes.
prefer.
Well, I haven't watched the movie yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
Aaron,
think it's the one thing most people
why?
know about the Utana movie.
Aaron, why would you do this to us? Second Twisted Hood. Not the turbo teacher. I can't.
You're lucky that she doesn't know where you are, because there's a few things that I could have her turn into that could fuck up your day.
Oh no!
No.
But no, you did spectacularly on this. And she's literally barking up the wrong tree in this case.
Hey guys, do you think Vroom Vroom can turn into a stealth bomber?
Yeah, I think she can.
We don't want to question that. Let's,
I don't want to find
let's move
out.
on. Yeah.
I mean, I bet she could.
Maybe you can ask her after?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
just not now while we're up in the sky.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you move through, I think your agent's car is very carefully following behind you and staying in the mist
Smart.
below too. Especially after Valencia drives off
Smart.
They're like, oop.
when they know it's safer to drive it through again.
Hmm.
And yeah, from there, I think you can continue forward unbothered for a while.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay!
And I'm gonna say, if you're continuing on in this manner, I'm gonna say you can probably fairly, I'm gonna say your powers are strong enough that you can keep going all the way to that halfway point.
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
And so they did. The kids continued going down the road until they reached a rest stop to take a short break. And that's where we'll be picking up at the top of next episode. Yeah, sorry. This recording session ended up going a lot longer than expected. Apologies for the abrupt ending on this one, y'all. I do hope you've been enjoying Satellite's outdoor adventures so far. It was a really fun one to record, and I promise you, you will not want to miss the second part of this one. We'll see you then for it. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for listening to SuperIdols Blast Off. And thanks to the wonderful cast of today's episode. Mariah/Windy was played by Liv Chavez, who can be found on Blue Sky at livinaday. Michelle/Mimi was played by Leon Richardson, who can be found on Blue Sky at catlinggun. Cherilyn/Cosmeaux Natalie was played by Ayumi Shinozaki, who can be found on Blue Sky at ayusheknows. Namsen/The Oracle was played by Keith Asada, who can be found on Blue Sky at keithasada. And your GM for this miniseries is me, eryncerise. You can find me on Blue Sky and YouTube at eryncerise, and you can find more information and art for Super Idols on our website at superidolsrpg.wordpress.com. Dialogue, cleanup editing, and mastering for this miniseries was done by Leon Richardson, with the exception of Episode 1, which was done by eryncerise. Our opening and ending theme is Feel the Gravity by Humans Win, and is under license from Storyblocks.com. Thank you all for listening, stay well, and goodbye until next time.